All right, we done made it down to YouTube to make these designer give bag purses. Now, here's a disclaimer. If you are a Silhouette Studio user, I am so sorry. This tutorial is not for you because I do not have the capacity or the template to do this on Silhouette Studio. This is the Design Space template, or Design Space design, I should say. So with that being said, let's head on over to Design Space. You're going to go look for me and find me under Sincerely D's hands. You're going to see the designer gift bag. You're going to click on that and we're going to be ready to go. And we're going to go in there. I'm opening it up on mine. We're going to go in there. We're going to customize this. All right. So now we get in there. Now, when you first open it up, everything is already grouped together. There is no need to resize anything. Only thing you need to do is just make sure you can see everything. You're going to right click. You're going to ungroup. I am a big fan of organization when it comes to crafting because crafting can become a whole mess, child, and we know it. So I have grouped everything as you need it already together. So therefore, it makes it a little bit easier for you to just go in there and change your color palettes and things like that. Also, if you look on your right hand panel, you'll see I have named every group. So when you clicking on something, you know what it is. Because let me tell you something, what I do not like when I'm down to the design space. I do not like having to click on things to figure out what it is because it says weld, attach, group, detach. I don't like that. Okay. So that's why I did this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go and you're gonna click on your you're gonna click on make sure that I'm sorry, you're gonna make sure that you click on the actual shape to change the color. If you click on the whole group, you're gonna change the whole group, including the score lines in the back, and we don't want to do that. We have layers to this, so we want to click on each one. You don't have to ungroup it, but just click on it on the actual shape to give it the color. So for the purpose of this tutorial, we're doing it in yellow, as you can see uh, from the preview. We were doing it in yellow, but we already know how I feel. It's all about personal preference. So if you decide you want to go in here and the first thing you want to do is you want to do another color, by all means do your do color. Excuse me, whatever color you want to. Child, I'm fumbling all over my words around here, okay? Now, I tried to edit this thing down to the lowest denominator that I could, but this is an intricate design in a sense. There are not a lot of parts, but a lot of parts, and you got to pay attention. And there's details that I need you to see. So I couldn't just speed through everything, but the parts that I could speed through, I'm speeding through because I don't want a whole bunch of fluff. We don't need a whole bunch of fluff. We just need to get in here, get to the meats and the potatoes of this situation, and grub on down. Right? All right. So as you can see, what we doing, we still in here changing our parts to what we need, the colors that we choosing. For me, I'm choosing yellow, white, and silver. The parts that I'm turning gray, they are gonna be it's gonna be a metallic cardstock paper. I That is my choice that I use metallic cardstock to for the embellishment pieces and everything like that. Now, right over here, I'm showing you where you're gonna go over down to logodix.com. Logodix.com, okay? They got all the logos you can think of. See, look at all the logos. If we want to do a Gucci purse, you can do a Gucci purse, Kate Spade, whatever. But right now we're doing Coach. So we're going to go in here and we're going to type Coach in the search bar and we're going to see all the different logos they have. Now, for the tutorial, I normally use this one, but for the tutorial, I decided to go with another one. I'm gonna go with this one. But of course, you can do what you want to do. So you go in there and you download it and you get it and you're gonna upload into your design space. Now, once you get it uploaded into your design space, you're gonna get your emblems. It's two of them. So you're gonna grab the top layer one, you're gonna put that down to 2.14 in width. Keep it locked and put it in 2.14 in width. Then you're gonna group it all and you're gonna flatten it. And then that's ready to go. And now you done everything you do. Now you need to just go ahead and go over and make it. Now, when you make it, this is still about choice. Now, when I do mine, I have mine on 12 by 12 mat. On a 12 by 12 mat, I use 12 by 12 cardstock paper. However, you can use 8.5 by 11. You're just going to use a little bit more. But as I said, 12 by 12 gets you you use less and you get more on your paper versus if you do 12 by 12. So you're going to go in there, you're just going to make sure, everything is there, whatever. Now we got everything cut on down now. Just putting a little sanitizer on my hand to get started. So we got all our pieces cut out. Now I'll take all the smaller pieces and I put them like in a little container so I can keep up with them. That's just, again, a personal preference of mine. And I tweezers because especially with the metallic, fingerprints and glue get all over it. So I do that. So I start off and I'm just starting off uh, putting some glue onto my coach emblem that I'm going to do. And all these pieces that we're doing right now, we're going to put them together. We're going to set them apart to dry because these are be the last finishing touches, but we're going to go ahead and let them start drying now. And that you see me right here. I just go through with a little alcohol wipe and dab it around and rub a little bit. Now, I use a tongue depressor or the a scraper because I like to make sure it's pressed down in there good. So that's what I do. You'll see me using that tongue depressor to rub around the edges just to make sure it's stuck down good. And as I said, I use that alcohol wipe to get up some of the excess glue because we want it to look good, for whoever we're doing it for ourselves, or if we're going to decide we're going to give it out for a gift. We want to make sure this thing look good. Okay. So now, I said, we just taking all of our smaller parts. You see, I'm taking the silver part. This is the backing of the zipper that we did. When you see your parts, you'll see the zipper. That's the backing of the zipper, and that's we putting that together. The actual zipper is the last thing I put together because that one takes some time and whatever, and it's some time. So this right here is the buckles and the buckle loops, the buckle strap loops to hold it around. So I'll go ahead and put that together, and you know, get that glue on down there. As I said, I use that tongue depressor because I want to get it down there and good. This is repetitive. You're gonna see me, so I'm just gonna speed it on up because I'm doing all four of those at the same time. Now you see me over here, and now I'm doing the buckles. We're gonna get to that zipper later. We're not doing that zipper right now because I don't have the time for that right now. So now these are the buckles. You should have 8 of those, and it's gonna be 8 because you're gonna glue 2 of them together. 2 of these are gonna go together for the sturdiness. So you see how I'm using my tweezers? The tweezers are important because one, it helps you to grip, and two, you try to keep the glue off your fingers. So we just go around there and just dab a little glue around all the little parts, and then I'm gonna use my tweezers and I'm gonna put it together and line it up. See how we just get that right on there and just line it on up? I'm gonna make sure. Now, one of the things I do, I'm making sure that it's lined up. As you see me squeezing a little bit, I'm just making sure it's not off center. Then I go through my tweezers a little bit, if you can see, and I kind of squeeze it, put a little pressure on there. I'm not using a tongue depressor on this one because it's small and it's thinner. So that I go through with the tweezers and I just pinch it to give it a little pressure to make sure that. And we just gonna keep on doing that till we get. It's gonna end up being 4 out of those 8. Of course, it's gonna be 4. Now we're gonna get on down to the zipper. Okay. So you see, I'm using my tweezers with this because it's so thin and it's so small. So I use my tweezers to get on there. Now this one has a little bit more, a couple of intricate details you'll see. It's gonna be some a tiny little square that you might have thought was just a cutout. Hopefully you didn't throw it away, but it's gonna be a tiny little square that you're gonna need, and you're gonna need that for the end of this. So you see, I'm taking my time trying to go in there, and with the tip of the tongue depressor, I'm just, you know, putting it on down there. As you see, look in the bowl. It's I'm gonna end up just dumping it out because it's just too much. See that little tiny, it's a tiny little piece, and it goes right there on the end of the zipper. Don't And understand something. The zipper is optional. You do not have to use a zipper if you don't want to deal with that or try to whatever. That's just a detail that I liked on there, but that is completely optional. I have seen some people just to make a little keychain heart and put it on there and not a zipper. So that's totally up to you. So right here on the front part of the zipper, this is the little handle part of the zipper. You're gonna get that, but right on the back, you're gonna get another. I use 2 tweezers right here. Like, I feel like a surgeon child. I feel like I'm on an episode of Grey's Anatomy as I'm explaining this right now. Uh, you're gonna get that in this. I know I'm out of the frame a little bit. I'm gonna work on that. Okay, I'm working on making sure I stay in the frame. But I get it, and it's a little small, another square that's gonna go on the top little slit there. You're gonna get that in there and make sure that's on there because that's just a detail of your zipper. Trust me, if you decide to go without the zipper, I totally understand because it took me a while to understand the zipper and how to put it together. I was like, oh, that's not how zippers work. But I got it together with practice, and that's what you can do. You can practice it. But initially, if you just want to get down to just knowing how to do this purse, just eliminate the zipper if you want to. Okay, that's me. I'm just fanning out a little bit because I put a little bit too much glue on there. So I was trying to let it dry, some of it dry up so it won't spread out when I do this right here. So usually some of this stuff is kind of very self-explanatory if you just watch. don't need to tell you detail by detail. I really don't. But I feel like I can just sit in silence. This is a weird little dance tango that we have to do with these videos. So now here, these are all my yellow parts, and you're gonna follow your score lines, and you're just gonna fold everything around the way your score line is. On this is your side pockets right here, and you see you have to make that how you make that little dent in the side with the score lines. You'll see your score lines on there when you cut it out and you do that. Now you have to do this with a score line. If you don't have a score tool, you're gonna need to get one because you need to do this with a score tool. It will not come out at all without a score tool. Or it might come out, it'll just be hard. Okay, right here. So now we got the front panel. You'll see the score tools on that too. You'll see the score lines that go across in the front, so you'll know with the front and the back. Now this is the inside pocket for the inside of the purse. So I'm lining it up with the lines on the outside, and when you cut yours out, you'll be able to see. So I'm just putting it right here on the folds. I'm just putting there, and I'm gonna make sure that I line it up to make it even because, as I said, that's gonna go inside of your purse, and that's where you can put a gift card or an actual card or just a you know how give backs come with a to and from tag so the person to know who it's from in case you're doing it at a party where it's going to be a lot of gifts. That's what you can put in. You can put it inside that pocket right there. Or if you're giving a small little gift and you wanted to add some money, you can put some money in there too. You can do whatever you want to, or you don't have to put the pocket in there at all. That's another thing that is completely optional. But I just like details on things. So that's what we're doing. So right here, this is the bottom base of the purse. We just, like I said, score lines at this point. You just following the score lines and you folding them around and getting everything down to what it need to get to. And on this part right here, so as I told you, you got your score lines in the front, and and this is kind of think of it like a puzzle. You'll see, very simple. You'll see where you need to line these what are these things? These shapes up, the rectangles. You'll see in the front of there, and you're just gonna line them up in those. This is your front panel. Remember, we worked on that. So that's it. I don't need to really go over words, but I just want to take a moment to say, hey y'all, hey, how y'all doing? How's your mental? I hope it's well. For me, crafting is relaxing for me. Even when I have all the issues, child, sometimes your thing don't want to cut, your printer don't want to print, and it just be too much, and you just be like, okay, what am I doing? But in the midst of it all, it's still a relaxing thing, and it's therapeutic for me because I love creating, I love crafting, and I love learning. So learning something new and then putting it together and seeing the finishing product and then coming back later and say, oh, you know what, I can do this time, I can add this time, or next time I'll make sure I do this because I think that'll make it look better. Ooh, I love doing that. Ooh, that is the best part. And then seeing it come to life, and then you show somebody and somebody say, oh, you did that, oh my God, how did you do that? Ooh, I don't have the patience. Child, I just be cheesing from ear to ear with that. I don't know. But anyhow, as you can see, we just going on through here and getting it together. Now, I do know that some of this is out of the frame, and I'm going to apologize for that, but in the future, the videos will be much better and will be in frame. When I originally I recorded this in the mode for TikTok. So TikTok orientation is different. And when I realized it was too much to put on TikTok, I had to switch over to the YouTube, and uh it's a whole different orientation for YouTube. So please forgive me, but I try to get it back in the frame as much as possible when I was aware of it. But just know, as I said, in the future, we're gonna get this together. We're gonna be great. I told you we're gonna be great together. That's what this whole thing is. This is about us learning and growing and being great together. And that's what's gonna happen. Now we done got all our yellow pieces on there, and now it's time to start making this into the purse shape. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a side panel and your bottom, that white panel, you're gonna put that and you're gonna line it up. You're gonna have it sitting, you wanna have it pressed right up against it, and then you wanna glue it down. You wanna have that little small flap, that's where you're gonna put your glue at, and you wanna have it pressed up right against the edge of your big square, and you're gonna just have that flap lay down on top of it. As you can see, I'm pushing it up against it. I'm making sure it's lined up because I don't want any gapping right there. You don't want no gapping because that's going to leave space and you're going to be able to see in the bottom of the bag. So that's what you want. So this part, you're going to pay attention. You want to make sure it's really flushed up against it. And then go ahead, but not too far. And then you just go ahead and take your time, and then you're going to press it down and make sure that it's down. Of course, you're going to go in there and get your tongue depressor, and you're going to do it on down because you want to make sure that it's stuck. You want to make sure that it's nice on there and everything like that. So just go ahead and give you a warning. I know the video is kind of long, but we want to make sure we get it right. The rest of this video is going to be in regular mode. There's no more speed up mode because I needed to make sure that I was in right timing to make sure that you see and know how to do everything right. So then you're going to get your other side and you're just going to repeat that process. Again, you're just going to flush it up against it. Make sure that it's lined up accurately. It's going to be the same length. So you're going to make sure that's lined up accurately. Flush it, glue it down, and make sure that you go in there with your tongue depressor or whatever. If you have one of those scrapers, you can use a scraper too. I just have those on hand, so that's what I use. So as you can see now, it's coming into the shape. You see the square shaping of it. So now we're going to take our side pockets, or our side panels, I should say. We're going to take our side panels and just measuring up just so you can see. Hopefully you can see. I know the framing is kind of off, but you're going to just get it in there and you're going to, line it up in there. This is something I like to do to just make sure everything is on the up and everything is right in the world. So just line it up in there, and then you're going to glue around. You're going to, oh, this is frustrating, child, to me because I know what I'm doing, but you don't know what I'm doing and you can't see, Lord. Okay, so you're going to glue your side. You're going to put the glue on that side. Look at me. Now I got some sense, child. Now I'm coming in the frame. Oh, they can't see. Get it together. All right, anyway. So you're going to take that and then you're going to go ahead and you're just going to put it again, flush it on the side panel. Now you're doing on the side, you did the long ways, now we're doing the short edge. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna flush it up against that. Make sure that it's in even with it. And then you're just gonna go ahead and take that part that you fold, that you have the crease at the fold, and you're gonna lay it on down. Now, child, you gonna see right here. This thing was giving me a little hard time right here. It did not want to stick. It did not want to hold. We was wrestling and fussing and cussing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was cussing right here, child, because I said, what is wrong? Now, we done did this too many times for you to be showing out like this on me when you know I'm trying to show out. You know how kids show out in front of company. Sometimes crafts do that too, child. They just act just like your kids. They just want to show out in front of company. So that's what it was doing. It was showing out in front of company. But I said, you know what? This is what it's all about. It's about showing the bloopers or showing the not so great parts because we not perfect and it ain't gonna always be right every time. So I was kind of glad that it was showing the difficulties so you can see that yes, child, it can be a challenge sometimes. But we got it together and we gonna go ahead and put this side on right on here together. Now, hopefully, you still with me and you haven't grown too impatient with me being outside of the frame. But I promise you, it was not intentional. But I understand how frustrated you could probably be right now trying to see what's going on. And you can't see because all you see is my big old chocolate hand and nothing else about what's going on of the importance of this video. But I get it together and I come back in the frame when I realize, but I was really concentrating on trying to get this. I got so caught up in doing the craft and forgot all about the fact that I was recording a tutorial. But I'm gonna get that balance together. But see, look, I'm coming back. Look at it. See, I got y'all back. I got y'all back. Don't worry about it. Told you we're gonna be great together. We're gonna learn together. So as you can see, you see the framing of it coming along. It's coming along quite nicely. I believe so, if I do say so myself. Okay, so right now this is where we getting down to getting close to the end. We almost finished right now. We putting on our top flap right here, and We're gonna put one on the front and on the back, but you see what I'm doing? I'm slapping that glue all around that thing, honey, because you know what I tell you, I always do. I'm gonna make sure that thing got some glue on there. I'm gonna make sure it stays stuck down, okay? Because what we don't want the bag falling apart now. We don't want to put the stuff in the bag, get the falling all apart. That's embarrassing. We don't want that. So no, we're gonna go ahead and make sure we slap that glue all around that thing and have that glue all around that thing like it's supposed to be. And we're gonna put it on there. Now you can use your glue your choice. Me, I use art glitter glue. I order off of Amazon. Some people like to use Aleene's tacky glue. That's also a good glue as well. What I would not recommend for this, I would not recommend using hot glue because hot glue gets what? Hard, sticky, and stringy, child. And it be lovely too. We want our part smooth. We don't want no lumps and bumps and all. We want this thing smooth. So yeah, as you can see, we just putting that on there and getting that on, and I'll make sure I put that glue on there because I want that thing to be sturdy. That's why the name of my business is Sincerely These Hands, because I'm gonna do it sincerely, honey. I'm not gonna give you nothing that I ain't proud to say that I made. Okay, you ever did something and something from somebody and you did it because that's what they asked for, but you really, creatively you didn't like the way it looked, and you thinking to yourself, "Oh, don't tell nobody I made that," but you did what the customer asked for, but you know it didn't look good. Yeah, child, I can't do that. I understand it happens, but I can't do that. But anyhow, child, you see our purses coming on together. Look at it. It's all cute coming all together now, child. Let's see what's our next step now. So our next step now, we're gonna put our strap holders on, our buckle flaps, whatever we're gonna call them. I don't know the name of it, but I'm gonna say our strap holders. We're gonna put those on there. So as you can see, we're gonna put it on the white part, and you're gonna line it up. I'm not in the frame for this part. I know, child. I'm gonna try to. We're gonna get it together. You're gonna see what I'm talking about on the next part. Child, this me being out of frame is stressing me out. I know it's stressing y'all out trying to learn because it's stressing me out trying to teach it. We're gonna get it together though. We're gonna have it right. We're gonna have it right for the next time. All right. We in the frame for this one. We got it together. So we putting the glue all around that thing on that white part. Not on the back of that, but on the white part. And then you're gonna take it and you're gonna center it on your top flap. Yes, I'm using my tweezers, Chad. I love my tweezers. You're gonna center it on your top flap and you're gonna put it right up against the top of it. Right up there, just like that. And you see I'm squeezing it down with those tweezers because I wanna get it. Make sure it's in there. Now you're gonna take your buckle and you're gonna put you see you putting the tab down on the bottom one and you fold it over just like that because you want them to stand up. You want them to stand up just like that. So that part that you just folded over, you're gonna glue on down on the inside. That's why we didn't put no glue on there before because we needed it for now. So you can't see me doing it really on this one. Yes, you can a little bit. I kind of got myself together right here. But you're gonna take a little bit, not a little bit of glue. Well, a little bit of glue because you don't want it to spread too far, but you're gonna make sure it's enough glue. And you're gonna put you some glue on there and you're gonna press that on down. And of course you're gonna hold it down to make sure it dries and stays there. You gotta hold it for a few, which me with my tweezers, but you can hold. The reason why I also use tweezers right here because when you're working with that metallic cardstock, it kind of leaves smudges and fingerprints, which is another reason why it's kind of edited out in this video. But I keep what's that called? I keep hand sanitizer handy to kind of because of you working with it and glue and oils and stuff like that. But anyway, let me stop rambling. But as you can see, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna put those all around on both sides. Two on the front, two on the back. You're gonna get those on there, and we're gonna move on to the next part after that, child. We almost to the finish line. Can you believe it? We made it through it. Now we down to the final stretch here. This is the straps. On the end, you're gonna see the little score lines. You're gonna fold them over, and then you're gonna put them right through the top part of that uh, buckle that you did. You're gonna put it right there, and you're gonna put a little bit of glue right there on that little square part, and then you just gonna hold it together for, make sure that it gets together. I'm using my tweezers here just to try to prevent glue from getting on my fingers so I don't transfer glue to the metallic part or to the other part of it. That's just my little thing that I got going on. So yeah, you're just gonna do that, and you're gonna fold it over. It's gonna be kind of an awkward loop. It's not gonna be a straightforward loop. You see, it's kind of awkward, but you're gonna just fold it on over and make sure that you put it. You're not going across. You're going side by side. Yeah, just like that. I know I'm out of the frame again. Oh, here I go. Look, I got it together. See? Look at me. Self-awareness is key, honey. So yeah, you just put those in there. You're gonna do that on both sides with it, and honey, that's it. We're gonna be all done after that. And just like that, our purse is ready. We did it. See? Yes, it takes a little time, but once you get the hang of it, it's no time at all. And it's going to be so much fun to make. You're not even going to feel the time. You're going to really enjoy it. But I'm ready to see, well, I'm excited, I should say, to see your take on it. I want to see what creative spins you come up with. So please, when you make yours, please tag me. Please let me see all what you do. And I want to read all the wonderful comments that I know that you're going to get on it. And please share with another friend so they can learn how to do this, because why? We all want to be great. So go out there and make something sincerely with your hands.